welcome back, or hello if you're new. Welcome to my channel, Dwell in Possibility. I'm here today with a book review for you. I said in my first video, the one that I posted earlier in the week, that I have just been craving and devouring thrillers all summer long. I don't even know how many I've read at this point, but I just finished The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I have not read Final Girls by Riley Sager. A lot of people are saying that they liked this book better. I don't have that to compare this to. So I would be interested in reading Final Girls, just to see, you know, if I like his writing better in that one versus this one. But we're going to talk about this one. I really wish I had something to compare it to, but I don't. So I'll just give you my thoughts and opinions here, and you can do with that what you will. Leave me some comments below if you've read Final Girls after this review, if you think I will like it better than this one after you hear my thoughts. So let's just jump in and talk about the story, the plot, the characters, what I thought about it, the big reveal. Can't talk too much there because there's other things that happen in the story that I don't want to give away that kind of go into the big reveal. So the premise of this book is that our main character, Emma, was one of 4 girls in this cabin at Camp Nightingale 15 years prior to the start of this book. The other 3 girls went missing and were never found. It's a cold case. Don't know what happened to them. And it's kind of haunted Emma. That's a good word. It's haunted Emma for all these years. She's now a painter, and she actually paints these really cryptic paintings where she kind of like hides the 3 girls in the paintings. But it's like a recurring thing that she keeps painting, and she can't get over it. So she's got a little post-traumatic stress about the event. We learn a little bit about the 3 girls as we go, which I love. I always think that the characters that are dead at the beginning of novels make the most interesting characters. That's always true for me, at least. So we've got these 3 girls, Vivian, Natalie, and Allison. Vivian is the head girl. You can tell that from the moment Emma starts describing Vivian. They're very fleshed out. Vivian especially is fleshed out. I won't say the other two are, but Vivian is a completely complex and fleshed out character, which I loved. Emma seems kind of naive to me. She's kind of weak. She seems kind of a coward to me the whole way through the book. But Vivian is just in charge. She's confident. She's got a plan. She's on a mission. She's got some secrets. She's trying to find out secrets about other characters, and ultimately you figure out that that's what leads to her disappearance. So at the beginning of the book, and it tells you this right in the blurb, the owner, Franny, of Camp Nightingale approaches Emma and says, I want you to come back to the camp because I'm reopening it after 15 years. I think it's time, and I want you to be a counselor. With that being said, Emma is hesitant. She's reluctant, but she agrees to go back as a counselor. But she's got an ulterior motive, which is, I'm going to find out why these 3 girls disappeared. She's got a very strong connection to Vivian. She was quite a bit younger than the 3 girls, so Vivian kind of took her under her wing. You can tell that from the start that Vivian really made an impression on Emma, and Emma feels a dedication to Vivian and feels like it's her job to find out what happened to her. So once she gets to Camp Nightingale, creepy things start happening. The creepiest part, let me just say this, the creepiest part of the book is the very last chapter, which is kind of like an epilogue, which I think should have somehow been included. If you read the book, or if you've read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. The last chapter, the like epilogue part, should have been in this story. It should not have been at the end. It's kind of like a, oh, but let me tell you what really happened at the end. And it was out of place. It was creepy. I read it at nighttime, and I had the lamp on until my husband came to bed, because I was like, oh, what just happened? That's weird. That's eerie. That is what I needed the whole way through the book. It wasn't there until the very end, which I hated. I'm not saying his writing was not great. I loved his writing. It kept me entranced. I needed to know. I basically just wanted to know what happened to these 3 girls. I wanted to know what happened to Vivian more than anybody because she was interesting to me. But we don't get that until the very end. So it's like the last, 50 pages or so, I'm flying through it when I feel like that should have been the case the whole way through. So in saying that, I want to say that this was by no means the best thriller that I've read this year, ever. It was good. Probably I'm going to end up giving it a 3 or a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a good, solid story. I'm flipping pages. I'm enjoying it. So that's a good story to me. Am I going to think about these characters? Am I going to think about this story next month or later this month when I pick up another thriller? Probably not. That's what makes a 5-star read to me, if I'm thinking about them after the fact. I'm having to go back and look at the characters' names as right now. So, excuse me, that's not a 5-star book for me. With that being said, I loved the setting, Camp Nightingale. Some things were kind of unrealistic to me. I understand why they were done that way. Like, for example, Emma having to bunk with a set of campers. If I'm a camp counselor at a camp, I'm not staying with a bunch of 13-year-old girls. So just little things like that. But again, I read so much that I pick up on those little things and I'm kind of picky about them. But, don't hate me. That's just me. That's just how I read and how I interpret things. I understand why it needed to be done. When you read the book, you'll understand why it needed to be done. I'm interested in reading more from him. He does a great job making you invested in these characters. And so the owner of the camp, she has 2 sons, and I was invested in their lives as well because I felt like they were really fleshed out. And it goes, you get some snippets from the past, and then you get the present, and as the camp opened 15 years prior to the disappearances. So you see these characters then and now, which I loved. I love when authors do that because you can kind of tell differences, changes in them. You can see how they've grown or not, which allows you to see what kind of character you're dealing with. So Riley Sager writes amazing characters. I did love that. The whole way through, I thought it was one character, and I was like, this character has something to do with the disappearances. I know that. And then I was completely shocked when it wasn't. That character was genuinely a nice person. Like, they weren't just trying to be nice to Emma to deceive her later. They were genuinely a nice person. So, and that could be one of several people, but you'll just have to read and see who you think it is. The big reveal happens in 2 forms, and so you'll just have to read and see what I mean when I say there's 2 big reveals. One of them was creepy and eerie. One of them didn't make much sense to me. I didn't understand why. I mean, I know why it was done because it was explained, but I didn't like it. The other one I loved. The one that happens at the very end of the book in the epilogue, the last chapter. Loved that one. That one was amazing. If that writing had been all the way through the book, this would be a 5-star book for me. With that being said, go out, read it. It's definitely a good summer read. It took me no time at all to get through it. It's like 300 and something pages. 370 pages. I enjoyed it, and I will read more from Riley Sager. But it wasn't the best that I've read this summer. So leave me your thoughts below. If you've read this book, what you thought about it. Leave me some suggestions of other thrillers that you think I would like, since you know I'm in the mood for those. I hope that you will like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon with more book-related content. Bye, guys.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.